welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Emily, and on my channel you'll find some home and plant care tips. By the look of the title, you guys already know that today I will be showing you how to not kill your plants. So I just want to give a disclaimer, I am not a plant expert or anything like that. I just really love plants, and I got into them probably about a year and a half ago after a trip to Bali where I was surrounded by nature, and the moment I got back, I completely changed my lifestyle. I was healthier, and most importantly, I wanted my space to reflect that, and I decided that bringing in plants into my home really helped my mood and made me feel very down to earth and more at peace. Might be a little cheesy, but I'm sure you guys feel the same way too. But yeah, my mom has always been into plants, so I've been around them for as long as I can remember. But the problem is that I would always kill them. I didn't care to have any because from my experience, I kept killing them. But when I decided that I wanted to get a plant, I started off with the easiest plants like the snake plant and obviously like cacti and like succulents and stuff. And then as I wanted to get more plants, the way that I learned to not kill my plants was by the greatest thing on earth that you probably use every single day, and I know I used probably too much during school and honestly in my everyday life, and that's just Google. I would literally just Google the new plant that I got. I was kind of just learning as I went on and kept purchasing plants. So the biggest turning point for me was when I decided to get a fiddle leaf fig, because obviously like you guys saw them everywhere. They were super popular. They still are popular, but you know, for a while they were super popular or something. You would just see them everywhere and everybody wanted one. And it was doing super well. I was like, oh, I got this down. I had it in such a cute little space in my apartment at the time, and I decided to just keep it in the space I wanted instead of having it like where it should have been. So when it started dying on me, I went to Google and I realized that I was doing everything wrong. My fiddle leaf fig was not the right spot. He was in a cute spot, but he was not getting enough sun, and I had the watering situation out of control. I just spoke to the nursery worker and they told me, oh, water this plant once a week. And I was like, okay, I'll water it once a week. Maybe it needed it once a week, but it was not getting enough sunlight in order for it to need watering once a week. So it started getting brown spots on the edges. I was freaking out. I was like, I paid a lot of money for this, and also I love this plant. Like, I fell in love with it. I need it to stay alive. So I went to Google and it told me that those brown spots meant that you are overwatering or underwatering. What the heck does that even mean? Like, it can be either one. So I just did more digging and I realized I was overwatering my plant. Overwatering your plant is the #1 way of killing them. My fiddle leaf fig needs to be completely dry before it gets watered again. I've literally been watering it once a week and it does not need that much watering. What I decided to do was, first of all, stop watering it, because I realized I was overwatering him and he needed so much more sunlight. So I adjusted him in the right position on a south-facing window where it would get the best sunlight. And then from there, he started coming back to life. And I still have him today. And he's doing really well. The main difference that I noticed, besides doing your research, and I know that you get misinformation and stuff like that, but honestly, as you have your plant, you start learning from it. You'll know how that plant behaves, and then you'll be good. But in the beginning, it's very important to just Google, ask some questions, and that's always a good start. Okay, so after that, you did your research, you're good to go, you know what you have to do, but you still have one little problem, or at least I did. I was tired of guessing whether or not the soil was even dry or when a specific plant needed watering, because remember, some need to dry out completely, some need to stay moist. So once you do that research, you think you're good, but then you're like, I need to do a guessing game and stick my finger into the soil and figure out, is this dry enough or is this still moist? Like, who knows? So what I decided to do, which was honestly the game changer, because now I don't have to do any guessing. So I decided to get a tool that would stop the guessing game and made me more confident in when I needed to water my plants. Which brings me to a big announcement. I got this tool off of Amazon and I love the tool. But me as a shop owner and business owner, I love branding. I love everything aesthetically pleasing, I guess you could say. So I decided to make my own and make it more appealing to the plant community. And I just received a lot of boxes of these. I recorded myself opening them up yesterday. So we're gonna open them up together so you can see what tool has helped me so much in order to not kill my houseplant. It is a Monday morning. I literally got out of the shower. I'm like shaking. I just received some boxes that I've been working on for so long. And due to COVID, it took so long. I wanted to record myself opening up the boxes. You guys don't really know that I have an online shop. I started a business of importing teas and dry herbs from Morocco. The business is called Rose Dose. And I fell in love with brand creating and just starting a business from scratch. Really, I just saw so much opportunity because there was always people like reaching out for help and stuff like that, like regarding plants, which I'm not a plant expert at all, but I enjoy talking to people regarding like plant questions and things like that. And I like obviously share my experiences and everything. So I want to show you guys this first product. I'm like shaking. Oh my gosh. Oh my god. You guys, I worked so hard on these and I am so happy with how they turned out. I'm like legit crying right now. I just can't believe it. Like all these boxes are filled with them. It was a risky move, but I am so happy with them. Okay, I'm gonna open one up. I'm like legit crying. Oh my gosh, look it. Oh my gosh, I hope you guys like it. All right, you guys saw it. As you can see, I got a little emotional in the video of opening it. I just feel really passionate about this product. So here is the packaging. And then when you open it, you receive your moisture meter. And the cool thing about this is that I'm not just offering the meter alone. I also worked on a small little ebook to help learn how to use it properly depending on which plant you have, and as well as just like little helpful tips on there. And it is now available on my shop, classicasita.com, and it's also going to be available on Amazon. The day that this video goes out is the day that I send out my first box to Amazon, so you can order it on there too. And if you do, please don't forget to leave a review because that is super helpful, especially in the beginning of a product launch. But I just wanted to create something that makes your plant care a little bit more fun, and I wanted it to look appealing so you can also like maybe give it as a gift to somebody, especially for somebody that's starting off just learning about plants and they want to get more into it. And if I can have a tool that's going to allow me to stop guessing and just know when I need to water my plant, then I'm all for it. Because remember, overwatering your plant is the worst. It is always better to underwater than to overwater. So I wanted to show you guys how I use my moisture meter. Remember, it depends on what plant you have. Every plant is different, so it's always good to do your research. So I share a few plants on my ebook telling you when you should water it. Remember, it's always really good to go back onto Google if you have any other questions regarding that specific plant. I'm gonna go check on that fiddle leaf fig that I nearly killed about 1.5 years ago. Because I think that one needs watering, and then I also have a calathea that needs to stay moist, so I'm going to check on that watering because I don't want it to dry out. Alright, so I just have Mr. Fiddle over here. I still need to get a bigger pot for him. I've been lagging it. So remember, fiddle leaf figs like to be completely dry. As you can see here, he is dry, but I don't only check on one spot. I like to move him around because sometimes your watering can be a little uneven. It might be like super moist on one end and then super dry on the other. He is completely dry, which is what he likes. And now, so I don't make a mess, I'm going to move him to the bathtub and give him a nice and thorough watering. I'm going to mist him a bit because it is hot in here. Oh my gosh. This one likes to stay moist. For the sake of this video, I let it get a little too dry because I was waiting to show you guys. It looks like it's starting to get dry, so we're gonna go ahead and water her next. For today's video. I hope you enjoyed it and found it a little bit helpful. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask me in a comment down below or on Instagram at CasiCasita if you guys want. Like always, don't forget to like this video, and if you haven't yet, please subscribe to my channel. It really helps me out and I just want to continue to make these videos. That being said, let me know if there's anything specific that you guys want to see on my channel. Go ahead and leave any suggestions down at the comments. I'm very interested in knowing what you guys want to see. And if you're interested in my moisture meter, all the details will be down below. But yeah, thanks again for watching and I will see you guys next time.